that is by India Re. She has an absolutely beautiful voice, and the name of the song is called I Am Light. And if you look at it on YouTube, she does it along with beautiful chorus, and the sounds and the harmonies are wonderful. So enjoy, and let me get that going.
My family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. Yeah. I am light. I am light. Light as in the opposite of heavy. I am light, I am light. Light as in the best word in the English language to describe the soul. I am light, I am light. I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dreams I left behind. I am light. 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 Quantum physics teaches us that we're really actually mostly space. We are light. I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. I am light. Fire given off by the combustion of the crucible of life's hard times. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. That song was by India Re. I Am Light, in case you didn't gather the title there.
And so this Songversation
is
called
excuse me. I thought
Songversation Worthy.
I thought I paused it there. Any case, she does it with a group called Beautiful Chorus, and it is absolutely a beautiful chorus. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm enjoying starting off with music in just as a way to kind of connect me with my heart. So I hope you're enjoying it as well. And let's go ahead and start the meditation here. And as always, feel free to stay for as little or for as long as you want. My meditations a lot of times go for about an hour, and for the usual ones on here, that's fine. But you're welcome to, that's the nice thing about doing it online, you can leave anytime you want. But also, sometimes I finish earlier than you would like. Feel free to pause and mute your device and just go ahead and continue meditating. The longer you meditate, to me, just generally is better. I say generally because sometimes people use meditation as an escape, and that's not what we want to do. We want to just continue practicing conscious awareness. Okay, let's go ahead and get going. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. So just closing your eyes and taking in a nice deep breath. And just letting go of any stress, any heaviness, any burdens, any worries whatsoever. And just be present here for this moment. And just for every moment in this meditation, every present moment. And at least for right now, I'm trusting that you have nothing else you need to do, and there's nowhere you need to go other than just simply being here now. And at the very core teaching of meditation, honestly, all it is just sitting and being. And being or beingness we're referring to is just not being in your head, not trying to solve life's mysteries, not trying to figure things out, not trying to figure out how you can get more money, or probably the biggest thing that our mind gets busy with is trying to figure out how to be happy. I say we as in the people who are meditating here. I don't know if that's true for everybody. Some people are so busy, maybe focused on being successful or being rich or being famous. All those things too are just ways of seeking happiness. They just happen to be seeking happiness outside of themselves in external ways. And my support to you is just offering meditation in a way that you see that you have everything you need. I don't even know if the word within yourself is actually true. It's not actually even within yourself. It is just simply yourself. It is yourself. You are the isness, and that is the pure beingness that is beyond any judgment, and not needing anything about life to be any different, not needing anything about yourself, not needing anything about anyone else to be any different than what it is. And this is simply not comprehensible. I always get that word a bit mixed up. The mind cannot comprehend this because it's not to be understood. It's about moving beyond the mind and recognizing that we are not the mind and we are not the thoughts. We are simply the one witnessing the thoughts, witnessing the mind, witnessing life itself. And that in itself is the truest beingness of it all. Just sitting and being, not needing anything to be any different than it is. So I do invite you just to let go of all your past. And I really do mean all of it. And this is really just stored, past is stored in our mind as memories, as judgments in some ways, because the mind simply evaluates what it thinks is good and bad. So every experience you have in your life, your mind will store it as either a good or bad, or possibly a neutral experience, but there's, it just takes one slight hair to make something either a little bit better or a little bit worse. So it's really all about good and bad. And the body also stores memory in it as well. And so when you heal your mind and you heal your body, it's all contributing to just letting go of those past experiences, those past memories that really get in the way of us just realizing the pure beingness of who we are in every present moment. So I invite you to let go of certainly any shame or guilt or blame. any judgments about yourself, or really about others, but especially about yourself. I did a talk in Grand Rapids yesterday on compassion, and if we're being honest with ourselves, it's not actually us that's being so hard on ourselves. If we take an honest look at it, it's not you, your true self, that's being hard on yourself. It is your smaller self, the egoic self, the personality, the person. Because you are beyond the person. You are a pure beingness, a pure isness. But the person believes the mind in what it's saying. So it's not your core self that's being hard on you. It's actually your small self believing the mind when it says you're not enough, or all the different ways that it tries to diminish you. And certainly tries to diminish other people as well. All from the ego point of view of trying to be somebody. And so our mind gets busy, our small self gets busy, trying to convince ourselves that we are worthy, trying to convince ourselves that we are enough. But I invite you to let that go as well. Because there's nothing that you need to try to fix to make yourself whole again. You are whole right now in this moment, in every moment. And the mind, again, will not understand that truth. It cannot understand it because it's beyond the mind and it's beyond logic. But when you're so busy trying to convince yourself, doing affirmations in the mirror, I am enough. And it's okay. There's nothing bad or wrong with it, but there comes a point in time where we have to realize that we are not the ones that are trying to be whole. We are the ones that are already whole. So the reason I invite you to not, focus on trying to convince yourself that you're whole or you're enough, and it's okay. If you do that, that's fine. That is absolutely fine and good. But what I'm offering is a chance to, rather than focusing on cutting off all the issues, healing all the issues is like cutting off branch by branch of the tree, when all you really need to do is remove the tree from the root. What is removing the tree from the root? It means when you stop believing, stop buying into that the thoughts and the mind are your truth, that that's who you are. Because once you recognize that you are not your thoughts and you are not the beliefs behind the thoughts or any concept or any idea, that you are beyond all of those beliefs, when you recognize that, then you experience the freedom and truth of who you are. But I don't want to foo-foo any of those ideas. People are doing affirmations as a way of basically putting it out to life, putting it out to God, to the universe, to say, look, I want to be happy. And so there's really nothing wrong with that. And at the same time, when you let go of trying to do that, you are basically saying, why am I doing that? Because the mind and the thoughts are not real anyhow. So what is there to correct? The only thing I need to do is simply stop believing the thoughts and the mind. That's all. So how do we do that? Well, the way that I do it, and what we're doing right now, is a practice through meditation. That we empty out so completely all these old beliefs that we have bought into, all these old thoughts that we've bought into. And the more we let those go, and then we practice coming back to the present moment, that is to say, practice coming back to the breath and just simply be aware of the thoughts, and then allow those thoughts to gently and effortlessly pass on by. Every time you do that, you are essentially practicing detaching from the thoughts and the mind as if it's the truth of who you are. So meditation, there's many forms, but it can be a practice of simply letting go of the thoughts, just noticing when they come up, not making them bad or wrong, not trying to fight against them or struggle with them. Because if you fight or struggle with them, you are basically acknowledging that they're real in the first place. So if you can let go of your fight and struggle with them, your need to get rid of them, and just allow them to simply pass on by, just like a gentle breeze. You don't need the breeze to be any different than what it is. You don't need to try to push it away or fight it. And you realize that it's not who you are. It's just simply passing by. And that is the same as a thought. It's just the mind being busy. It's just the wind passing by. Literally, it's that easy. That there's nothing you need to hold on to or attach to the thought. You don't need to listen to the thoughts other than being conscious and aware of them so that they're not pulling you into their drama and their suffering. And so the more you practice just allowing the thoughts to pass on by gently, effortlessly, you are practicing realizing that you are not your thoughts and you are not the mind that is giving you the thoughts. All that negative thinking, when somebody says, wow, you're so negative. No, actually you're not, nor are they. It is simply the mind regurgitating old experiences, old information that it has assigned a value of being negative. And your small self, your egoic self, has believed this to be true. That's all. So you are not a negative thinker. You are not mean. You are not, you are not enough. So the one who is saying you are not enough, that is just the mind. It is not who you are, and you do not have to believe that. Now, in truth, for being honest, your small self is going to be believing some things. It's going to be believing maybe even right now that you're not enough. It's okay. I don't want you to fight against that or make it bad or wrong. Just as soon as you have that awareness of that thought, that belief, just allow it to gently and easily pass on by. And that's your practice. Just simply being aware of the busyness of the mind, recognizing that it is not you, and coming back to the present moment, coming back to being aware of your breath. And that brings you back home to who you are. Where is home? Who are you? Home is, you are the one that is simply witnessing the thought without needing to fix or change it or making it bad or wrong. If you make it bad or wrong, boom, you are right back in the mind or the smaller self. But when you can witness it without needing to fix or change it and recognizing that it's not who you are, that is you, the one simply witnessing. And you are not anything physical. And again, I say this all the time. It's important that you know that you don't have to believe me. I don't want you just to believe me. I want you just to explore with it, try it on. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm not trying to persuade you in any way. I am simply speaking from the truth of who I am and what I recognize as who I am. And so I'm just offering you these teachings as a way of you having this same beingness that is you, experiencing the same beingness. That's all. So just coming back to being aware that you, of your breath, and you have the mind that is, again, regurgitating old information from the past, or maybe inserting worries about the future. And your small self, your person, is the one believing those thoughts. And your true self is the one witnessing all of it. Witnessing without a need to change any of it, because it recognizes that you are not that. So if you haven't already completely emptied out the past, now I hope you have a better understanding why it's so valuable to let go of all the past, because essentially you are emptying out your small self so it can merge and be your true self. So just letting go of any shame, any guilt, any blame, any stories that your mind has concocted as to who it thinks you are, who you are supposed to be. And of course also letting go of any worries about the future. And the future actually doesn't exist. 10 seconds from now, it will not be the future. It will simply be another present moment. And so all life is just a series of present moments. This moment now, and now this present moment. And if we do not bring in our past or bring in our future, we can be in that present moment living, which doesn't drag in all the blame and shame and guilt from the past. It doesn't drag in all these judgments and notions of who it thinks we are based all on the past. And it allows us to step into a place of innocence. And innocence is rooted in the present moment. Because as soon as you conjure up what life is or what it's supposed to be or who you are or what you're supposed to be, then you are conjuring up the past, all notions and concepts and beliefs from the past. And there is not innocence in there. There is not a freshness or just a freedom of the very present moment that you're in. And so all these ideas, all these concepts, all these beliefs of who you have thought yourself to be, who your small self has thought you to be, I invite you just to let go of all of that. And just to completely empty out. And now just coming back to being aware of your breath. And again, you don't need to do anything with your breath. That's why it's so perfect for meditation. Because there is no trying, there's no effort, there is no doingness whatsoever required for this meditation. We're just sitting and being, sitting and witnessing, sitting and being loving, conscious awareness. And of course, the mind will get busy. Wonderful. Let the mind do whatever the mind's going to do, say whatever it's going to say. You're just witnessing all of it. And you will find as you're living your life, the more you practice this meditation, the more you will all of a sudden realize, hey, I realize I'm stressed right now. I must be believing some thought of the mind. And if you are aware of that thought, you can just simply allow it to gently, easily, effortlessly pass on by and get right back to living and being in the present moment. And it keeps getting easier and easier. And the beautiful thing when you begin to catch it during your day while you're just living your life, stress and suffering does not build up on you like it does for so many. Anything can be happening in the world and you can notice like, oh, okay, I see I'm buying into that as if it's the truth, and it's noticing that it's stressing out my smaller self. And just notice that, allow that thought to pass on by, and come back to simply observing your breath. And if your mind has drifted, just simply come back to witnessing your breath, which brings you back to the present moment, which brings you back to who you are. And again, if your mind has drifted, just allow the thoughts to just gently and effortlessly pass on by, because you're not your thoughts and you don't need to be entangled in any of them. As soon as you are aware that your mind has strayed, just simply come back to being aware of your breath. And again, just coming back to the present moment, coming back to witnessing the breath, just observing the breath. Coming back to being aware of your breath.